Last week in Charlotte, we saw Evan MacFarlane walk away from the rest of the field as the no-control eSports team battled it out for second place. With Kieran Liflander making his return, will we see a rematch of the contact that happened here last season? We'll find out together over the next hour. The Peach State is the stage, and the Georgia Grand Prix is next. Our venue for today is the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Opened in 1960, North American Simulated Auto Racing has been visiting this circuit since 2018C. At 0.68 miles in length, the short Atlanta layout has proved to be a bull ring over the past seasons. On their own, the starts are chaotic, but add in the Joker merge and the fishbowl corners, and it produces one of the most exciting layouts that iRacing has to offer to NASA Rallycross. In NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races with the Joker lap taken once. The top 2 transfer to the feature automatically, the winner will get 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our drivers are sent to the semi-final, also 5 laps with 1 Joker. The top 2 will transfer to the feature, and the winner will receive a bonus point. This sets the grid for our 10-lap feature race where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out, and unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. The 31st season of the NASA Rallycross Challenge continues today, live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, as we welcome you to the 7th running of the Georgia Grand Prix. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed, produced by our very own Alex Zabetti. Mr. Bryan Sawyer, Evan had a comfortable Saturday drive last week because Kieran had the issues. He was unable to participate. We saw them come together here last season, along with Sonoma and Indianapolis this season. Are we going to see another bout of Evan versus Kieran today?
Hi, Josh. Yeah, probably. They're both at the top of the timing tower. They'll probably be right next to each other at some point tonight. And this track's a little tight, especially turns 1 and 2 off the start line. Everybody keeps it pretty close together, side by side, into where Kieran is right now, coming through this little chicane area. A lot of chaos has happened right there this week, so probably some more today.
We've had some issues, of course, in the lights race, in the futures, and the contenders. So many series for NASA. We'll take a look at the Drivers' Championship coming into the 5th round here in Atlanta. And Evan MacFarlane on top by 10 points over Kieran Liflander in the 20. Santeri Heiskanen, Yuko Pakala, Marcos Palacio. Palacio back for the first time in a couple of weeks. Pakala here, no Heiskanen for no control. Zach Blanche is out. He is not here either. Josh Darnell, Jess Rakowski, Brandon Slow, Robbie Kirtley down the top 10. The Constructors' Championship and TWR Subi Squad leading that championship by 52 points over No Control Finland. Kieran Liflander Racing with that issue in Charlotte, only having the 1 car, dropped them down the order. Slapex Ford, No Control in the top 5 as we look down the order there as well. And the Manufacturers' Championship, no surprise that Subaru leads ahead of Ford as the majority of the supercar class is Subaru. In fact, I think the entire class is Subaru except for Ford. And of course, Josh Darnell transferring up from the contenders races, bolstering the American manufacturers' hopes. Couple of programming notes before we head to qualifying on the Automotive Sports Network. We've got NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights tomorrow from the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida, 8 p.m. Eastern for Futures, 9 p.m. for Lights. Ethan Halsey, Victor Valley for those 2 shows. It has been a brawl, like I've said, every single week for both of those series. We've got NASA Rallycross Contenders on Monday in Daytona. We've got NASCAR Rallycross Contenders. Maybe I should finish that one. 9 p.m. Eastern. Justin Robichaux, Bryan Sawyer for that. Torque Sports Car Series Round 2 in Monza. Victor Valley, myself, Josh Mertz for that. 8:30 p.m. Eastern on next Thursday. And Round 1, pretty awesome, with Manuel Sandoval and Corey Allen coming down to basically a photo finish. Hopefully we can get some more of that action. And our next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge next Saturday in Daytona, 2 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Mertz for that. So we are set to head to qualifying, and 34.950 at the dying moments of practice for Kieran Liflander ahead of Evan MacFarlane 35.2. Josh Darnell 35.3, Bryan, for the contenders points leader, showing some pace in that Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, he's been ripping all season long. I'm willing to say he's going to say bye-bye to contenders next season.
It's been a pretty poorly kept secret that he's going to be in the supercar class next season. And trying to find the first car on track. It looks like it is Darnell in the 029. So the man that has won every single contenders race this season and the last race of last season begins his qualifying run in the 029. First couple of corners, you got those sleeping policemen. Easy to make a mistake. If you hit those curbs, you're flying. Joker's going to be on driver's right. That's going to cut off, I think it's like 10 seconds off your Joker delta, or off your lap time, I should say. Fishbowl corner. Easy to get wrong this entire circuit, and I said that for Charlotte last week, but the walls line this track. Easy to dip the right sides into that little ditch there. We saw Philip Kraus do that several years ago when we were in the long layout here in Atlanta. But over the jump, we'll see what Darnell does at the end of his first lap, Bryan.
Yeah, Josh, you were talking about the grass there. That grass will eat your car. It won't give it back. Sometimes you're lucky and you might get it back. Sometimes it will pull you into the infield, into the audience. And
Popula 35.5, yeah. Darnell 35.8, Liflander 36.1, Wets 37.0. Where is Evan MacFarlane? He is not on track yet in car number 1. And that is interesting because Kieran in third, and he's down by 0.3 of a second over Popula in the 92. So Darnell will complete his run. Rakowski goes third at a 35.9. Darnell crosses. The second lap didn't count. Soton's 36.9. Whereas Pakala crossing the line. Does he improve? 35.508 for the Finn. This is getting interesting. Liflander goes to the top. 35.4. So he got his stuff in order. So now we'll wait for Evan MacFarlane to respond. Pakala through the fishbowl. Right behind him is Kieran Liflander. Devin Hughes goes 7th at a 36.441. Pakala hits the wall. The lap's not going to matter.
I don't know. It didn't give a 0 or anything on my side here. It must have on his.
As soon as he hit that wall, it was going to invalidate it. Marcos Palacios sits in 4th. He's in the fishbowl on his 3rd and final
Kieran
lap.
must hit the wall too because Kieran is off the track, but we got Evan on track now.
We got Robbie Kirtley also in 4th in the 0.24, picking up Marcos Palacio in the final couple of corners as Evan begins his first lap in qualifying. Palacio is going to end his run in the 83, just trying to keep an eye on his lap time. 35.885, he improves. He goes to 4th quickest ahead of Kirtley. As we still focus on MacFarlane, I'm just keeping everybody updated on everyone else finishing their runs. But we do pick up MacFarlane in the final, or in the sweeper, to the final couple of corners. And with the short layout, hard to get the braking point right because you feel like you want to go all the way to that ditch on driver's right, but you can't, Bryan. You have to stay driver's left as far as you can. Across the line, defending champion MacFarlane, 35.7. But the first lap was slow for Kieran too, so we'll have to see. Through 1, through 2, through 3, heading to the fishbowl, utilizing all the curb.
Track cut right there. He went all the way over.
He's still pushing. I don't see a black flag on timing through the sweeper. Very gentle on the throttle. He is 3rd quickest with that first lap time, but will he respond? He's got a 1/4 second to make up that.
It looks like he's got a half second on his relative here. Oh,
across the line. 35.418. Oh, there is less than a 1/10 of a second between these two, and Evan's got 1 lap left to get it right, Bryan.
Yeah, and Evan's currently looks like 1 to 2 tenths faster than his previous in this sector. So, yeah, he's still holding. I have an average pace here. He's looking 2 tenths faster, 3 tenths faster. I think he's going to pull pole off here. If he can just manage these last 2 turns, it's his.
Missed the apex by about half a car width. That is so tricky.
He's purple.
Cut purple across the line. 35.477. It's not.
Oh.
It's pole position for Kieran Liflander. I think that missing of the apex in the penultimate corner, he was about half a car width off. You have to basically be kissing that sleeping policeman there, and that's what did him in. So that is pole position for Kieran Liflander for heat number 1. This is going to be a good race. So that gives Kieran the seeding round win after MacFarlane won in Sonoma and, of course, in Charlotte. So it is 3-2, Liflander versus MacFarlane. So we take a look at the grid for heat number 1. Kieran Liflander, Yuko Pakala, Marcos Palacio, Jess Rakowski, Klaus Kreutzer, Marcus Indrek Simmer, 6th and final car in this first heat race. And Liflander is not going to have the best of starts, nor is Pakala. Palacio is going to have the flattest of starts because it's a little bit of a jump. We've seen that through the week with futures, with lights, with contenders. We talked about it in the drivers' meeting. It's almost a disadvantage to be on the pole position here.
We'll keep the car on Kieran here once he gets on track, but you'll notice how his car just kind of like 2 wheels almost leave the ground. You lose a little traction. There's quite the bump on the transition here.
As Kieran grids, 6 cars, 5 laps, 1 joker, top 2 transfer as we get ready for heat 1 here in Georgia. Green flag off the line. Good start for Kieran. Hits the jump, and it's not even going to affect him. 3 wide in the back. Simmer to the inside of Rakowski. Forces his way through, and I think Jess has right rear damage. The 999 out in turn 1 to begin the first lap. Liflander leads ahead of Pakala, Simmer, Palacio, Kreutzer, and yes, there is right rear damage on the 999. Take her out of it and to the semifinal. Who will joker on the first opportunity? And Simmer does. Palacio does. Now, does Palacio force his way past Simmer here, Bryan?
If the camera would let me go to it, we can find out.
Deep on the brakes in the penultimate corner.
Simmer
he does take the spot.
So yeah,
over-under in the 4.
Sneaks in there. We're going to take a quick run around. We're going to see what happened to Jess there at the beginning.
Take a second look. Take us through it, Bryan.
Yeah, we got Jess going off here. She just got, 2 cars beside her hit the late brakes, damaged the rear of the car, and that does not look fun.
As Simmer ran right into the right rear, and with the new driver or damage model, on iRacing in these rally cars,
the wheel right off.
You have absolutely Liflander jokered while we were looking at that replay. So Kieran back to the point. Palacio, Simmer, Pakala, and Kreutzer, the remaining running order so far.
I think the most interesting thing that we got here, Josh, is Palacio and Simmer here battling for the transfer spot.
As will Pakala, though, be able to take the fight to these 2 cars? He jokers, no contest. Pakala to the transfer spot in the 92.
You know, if I remembered we had jokers.
That's okay.
Maybe.
That is totally okay. So, 2 laps to go for Kieran Liflander. Last lap was a 35.8. 36.3 for Pakala on his regular course lap, the lap prior to that one. So that's fastest lap for Liflander at a 35.823. Palacio, Simmer, Kreutzer, and Rakowski. Running order has not changed. Let's ride on board Liflander, take a ride through the final lap here in Heat 1.
He touches the wall. Josh, you want to bet we get any cars grinding that wall tonight?
Oh, you have to.
It's one of my favorite Tony Hawk moves in this on this track. Is misjudge jump or just ride down that concrete wall.
The concrete wall, potentially. The Armco between the final 2 corners, absolutely. You have to hit that to get the maximum amount of turn in for that final corner. So, we rode on board Kieran Liflander. We still ride on board Kieran Liflander for the penultimate corner. into the final corner, and the kid from South Carolina picks up right where he left off in Indianapolis. He wins Heat 1, pole position for the Georgia Grand Prix, as Yuko Pakala will transfer Palacio, Simmer, Kreutzer, and Rakowski to the semifinal. As our grid for the second heat race, as everybody finishes up, will be Evan MacFarlane, Josh Darnell, Robbie Kirtley, Devin Hughes, Chris Wetz, and Renee Sotens. Reminder, Evan MacFarlane, defending champion, also the points leader. He's got the red banner on that car. As we await for Kirtley and Hughes to grid. And Jess Rakowski not thrilled at Marcus Indrek Simmer's move into turn 1. So we wait for the man from Virginia, Robbie Kirtley, to grid. He has gridded, and we get ready for Heat 2 in Georgia. Green flag off the line. MacFarlane didn't get as big of a jump compared to Liflander into turn 1. Sotens, Hughes got sandwiched between the two no-control cars. The teammates coming off at turn 2, battling for the third spot. MacFarlane begins the first lap ahead of Darnell, ahead of Sotens.
They're going 3 wide back there.
No, Hughes rips the handbrake to avoid contact.
Oh!
And so does Kirtley. Welcome to Rallycross.
Oh my god.
Vehicular gymnastics.
Kirtley used Darnell's car as a ramp. If the incident, there they go. The incidents are pulling up. I'm going back to that. That was amazing.
As welcome to NASA Rallycross, they touched. I thought Hughes just ripped the handbrake, but he got hit by
he lost 3 there.
The ramp.
Hey, wow. Kirtley's car seems fine. Kirtley's still going.
As, like I've said, welcome to NASA Rallycross, where we just have a gold in the vehicular gymnastics competition going to Robbie Kirtley and Devin Hughes for the tandem jump. So MacFarlane leads. If I pull up my internal timing, he jokered on the first opportunity. So did Darnell. Why would you fight, Darnell? I would just take this time as Darnell, learn from the double defending champion MacFarlane.
There's 11 seconds behind you. I mean, Sotens hasn't jokered yet, but 11 seconds is almost double the delta here. So just sit comfortably. Just run some laps with Evan. See if you can find some pace. Go to the feature.
Sotens and Wetz. As all cars are still running, Hughes after being used as a ramp and flipping in turn 2. And Kirtley after using the 60 as a ramp, fighting for the best of the rest spot. Kirtley already jokered though, so once these guys joker, he's going to lose that pack. 2 laps to go for MacFarlane in car number 1. I wonder, thought that comes into my head is, if you're Evan, are you going to worry about the start? Remembering what happened last season between you and Kieran, as we take a look at Kirtley versus Wetz for the 4th spot.
You know, Josh, I miss Wetz's green VW.
He ran a green car on NASCAR 2003 for the longest time, and I'm not sure what had happened. I wonder if one of our designers can get the man from Texas back into a green car. He ran one way back in the day. Just a obligatory reminder that Chris Wetz has ran in every single season of NASCAR, close to a championship after the 2014 A defeat to Dylan Livengood. Final couple of corners for the double defending champion Evan MacFarlane in car number 1. The kid from California, dueling the kid from South Carolina, Kieran Liflander. And off the final corner, MacFarlane will join Liflander on the front row of the grid. He wins Heat 2. Ahead of Josh Darnell, who comes home in second, taking some practice laps and some pointers from our champion, as Sotens, followed by Wetz, Hughes, and Kirtley.
You know, Josh, what's going to be interesting about this, I said earlier in the broadcast that they are going to be right next to each other at some point tonight. We saw Liflander's jump at the beginning on his heat, how he just cut across the nose of the car in second to minimize that jump. I don't think Evan's going to let him do that. So I think we're going to have a little bit more of a argy-bargy start when they're together.
As you can tell by the lack of enthusiasm compared to the feature, saving your energy. until that feature race. Grid for the semifinal: Marcos Palacio, Renee Sotens, Marcus Indrek Simmer, Chris Wetz, Klaus Kreutzer, Devin Hughes, Jess Rakowski, Robbie Kirtley. JC Simsport bias for 2 seconds. My car's not having the greatest of times, but hopefully we can have a good time. We get ready for the semifinal. 8 cars, 5 laps, top 2 transfer in Georgia. Rakowski might have jumped. So did Kreutzer. Not sure on penalties. I don't think so. Green flag off the line. Middle. Sotens had a better run. Palacio to the inside. Kreutzer into Simmer. Across the track goes Simmer as Sotens leads. Palacio wets Rakowski. Does Simmer touch Rakowski over the jump? No, they don't touch. Hughes, Kreutzer in the back of the field, and Kirtley. I'm not sure what happened to Robbie. I think we can pick that up in a couple of moments. Will we see a joker? Palacio does. He knows he has the pace over Sotens. Wet behind. Rakowski jokers in the 999 as well. Gets her clear of the traffic. Good move on the first lap here in Atlanta.
We're going to go back and find out what happened to Robbie, because I didn't see it. I saw him in the lead, and then I saw nothing.
As Palacio leads Rakowski, just to keep everybody updated on the running order. He took the green flag. And does he get sandwiched into the wall on the first lap? He does in the 024.
He just got used up.
Easy to do. Easy to do on the starts, like I said, here in Atlanta. Sotens jokers exits, battling with Palacio. And that's going to put Rakowski in the 3rd spot. Coming to 3 to go. Remember, top 2 will transfer into the feature race here in Atlanta.
Sotens has not. Sotens joker this lap. Yep.
Sotens just exited the joker in the 157. So will we see a joker? I think Hughes already jokered here, bringing it up in 4th position. He jokered on the 2nd lap following Sotens. Wetz has yet to joker in the 71. We'll famously wait for a last lap joker, I think, from the Texan. Marcus Simmer as well.
Rakowski's got to pass Sotens for the transfer. I don't know how you talk to your team, but I always tell my guys, don't be nice. You guys have a similar rule?
Yes. You got to do what you got to do is my mentality. So try and do it cleanly, of course, but in NASA Rallycross, a little bit of bumping, a little bit of argy-bargy, always encouraged. And I think the fishbowl, unless Sotens is going to open the door for her in the 999, do they touch on exit? I don't think so. Sotens holds the spot. Simmer jokers in the 4. He's going to have the overrun. Hughes hits the wall. So here comes Marcus Indrek. Simmer in the 4. Nearly touches the 999 of Rakowski. And Rakowski, under pressure, might be getting into her own head here as we take the white flag.
Yeah, if I'm Rakowski, late break as much as I can. And give a little bump before the fishbowl.
Pushing hard in the 999, driving a little bit over, maybe seeing a little red, trying to overcompensate. You lose focus of the vehicle, lose control, lose the feel. Hughes to the inside of Simmer. They touch in the fishbowl, and around the Canadian goes in the 60. Up front, Marcos Palacio holds the lead over Renee Sotens, and Palacio will come off the final corner and win the semifinal and transfer to the feature. Our 6th and final seed will be Renee Sotens. Best of the rest, Jess Rakowski in 7th. 8th, Marcus Indrek Simmer. 9th is Wetz after his joker. 10th will be Klaus Kreutzer. 11th, Devin Hughes. And 12th, Robbie Kirtley. And the races go quick here in Atlanta. And our grid is set for the 7th Atlanta Grand Prix. We're going to step aside, and on the other side of the break, we go green in Georgia.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two and Terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap. Clog at the inside line. MacFarlane contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside. And Magnus gives him a nudge. Grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Ronnie's going as well. We welcome you back to round 271 of the championship overall and round 5 of the 31st season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Atlanta. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN are brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. Finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by our very own Alex Abetti. If you like what you see so far today, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like your content broadcasted by the Automotive Sports Network, ASNTVUSA.com. And if you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2024. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. Now, I'm going to ask you, the person who will join the likes of Philip Kraus, Jake Robertson, Francois Martel, and Kieran Liflander as winners of the Georgia Grand Prix, to win this race, you must not do what we are showing here, Bryan, and this is a second look at what happened earlier on.
Oh, yeah, you can't do this. You can't. 2 wide through this turn is dangerous enough. Going 3 wide is insane. 3 wide is just asking for somebody to die, and it looks like Kirtley actually tried to back out a little here, but Hughes is carrying a lot of speed. I know Hughes' rear end stepped out, and yeah, it didn't look like he got hit here. It just looks like his rear end said, no, we don't have any grip anymore, and that curb is deadly. As
JC Simsport bias for 2 seconds. Yesterday, I had a conversation with Emma and Debbie from Crown Creamery, and we formulated our first official sponsorship. Ladies, this is not what I envisioned when I said you guys would get TV time with Devin Hughes flipping in car number 60. But either way, we're here. We're having
Robbie
a
went spaceman over it. Oh boy.
Welcome to NASA Rallycross. This is the kind of stuff that happens over the past 12 years. Like I said, nasasimracing.com. I want to take a quick look at the programming notes before we get some predictions, Bryan. Tomorrow, NASA Rallycross Futures and NASA Rallycross Lights will be 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern in Daytona. Ethan Halsey, Victor Valley for those. That's going to be two equally chaotic brawls, and especially when you got two blue plates in lights, and the guys that are holding those championship leader plates are talking to you today. NASA Rallycross Contenders on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, also in Daytona. Justin Robichaux, Bryan Sawyer. I say it every single show that I'm a part of, but super cool to sit back on Mondays and just be able to watch and not have to worry. It's a good time. Round 2 for the Torque Sports Cars Series in Monza in Italy next Thursday, and that will be 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Not sure why the dates aren't working on there, but I guess we'll figure that one out when we get there. You'll have myself, Josh Mertz, and Victor Valley for that. And Corey Allen and Manuel Sandoval had a hell of a battle for the race lead all race long. I rewatched that race this morning, and I felt horrible, kind of, because there was so much action going on. We missed a couple of incidents, but the leaders were just brawling all day. And either way, we've got a massive amount of content on ASN coming into the wintertime. And I guess I'm just going to announce it, Bryan. I know we've talked about it. I know I kind of teased it on the Discord, but we're going to be doing official Rallycross split broadcasting on Thursdays. Is that still a thing?
Maybe Wednesdays, maybe Thursdays. I don't know. I got to figure out my schedule and what I want to do. But yeah, it's going to be one of those 2 nights. And
I trust we'll put it in the programming notes either way. Give me a quick prediction. We got about a minute until we grid.
I think Kieran, after missing last week, a couple races last week, and having a race he missed, Kieran's going to be hungry. Kieran's going to do everything he has to, even if that means running through a few people. I think he's going to run with the mentality of it's my track, get off of it. And God help anybody in front of him.
Turn one's going to be... Turn one... I don't have a prediction. I say it every week. I mean, especially with these two, like we've seen so many times before. This turn one, always important with the jump. Kieran might be a little bit disadvantaged compared to Evan. Evan might be a little disadvantaged. Who is it going to be? It's going to be Pakala gridding up in the 3rd spot. So we'll just have to see, as we just lost Josh Darnell to an upload packet loss in the 029. So hopefully he'll be able to get back in. Some connection issues for the driver from Maryland.
Well, he's got like 2 minutes to grid, maybe 90 seconds.
I tell my wife Chloe every single week. I get super excited when I'm done with these broadcasts, and I go out there and she looks at me like I'm crazy, and I say I'm watching 2 of the best kids in dirt road on iRacing absolutely brawl. Watching the next generation. The hair turns gray when I'm talking like that, but it's just a super fun time. Our grid for the Georgia Grand Prix looks like this. Kieran Liflander on pole in car number 20. Evan MacFarlane, double defending champion, championship leader in car number 1 and 2nd. Yuko Pakala, Josh Darnell, Marcos Palacio, and Renee Sotens. 6 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers. As everybody begins to grid, looks like we are trying to delay the start by 60 seconds to try and get Darnell in. And I don't know that command, Bryan, so you can make that call if you'd like.
I don't have access to clicking the thing.
Oh, well, is it we're gonna do this live. Is it grid hold?
Yeah, it's like exclamation grid hold.
And then do I just put a 1 for a minute?
I think, yeah, I believe.
And it didn't like that. So I guess we are going without Josh Darnell. 5 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers as we get ready in Georgia. Green flag off the line. Pakala got a good start in the first phase. Over the 2. Liflander came across like you said he was going to. Into turn number 1. Holds it over Evan. Pakala trying on the outside. The 92 can't get it done. It's Kieran versus Evan versus Pakala versus Soten versus Palacio. Into turn 1 proper now. Through 1, through 2. Rounding 3. We ride on board MacFarlane in car number 1. Who will joker on the first opportunity? Kieran does. MacFarlane does not. Pakala does. And this is a race of old with only 5 cars. Smaller grid size. And now, if you're Evan, do you respond immediately, Bryan?
No. If I'm Evan, unless I got cars in front of me, I'm holding on to those. Those are 2 massive jokers. It's a lot of time you can make back up. You can easily see your gap to Liflander and know, okay, I'm 7 or 8 seconds behind him right now. That's exactly one joker rotation. I might as well keep my clear air and go.
They do have Josh Darnell back, but of course he's going to be a couple laps down in the 0:29.
Kieran right now is going to be dealing with
battling for fourth.
Pakala. If Pakala can bother Kieran here, and if Kieran keeps hitting that wall, might knock a tire off.
As last lap, 36.2 for Liflander, 36.4 for Pakala. We'll see MacFarlane's last time around in the 36.2, exactly equal compared to Liflander, as Palacio and Sotens in fourth and fifth. As unfortunate for Josh Darnell, we have those connection issues, and unfortunately got to chalk it up like it's a real-world mechanical failure right at the lights. And unfortunately, I don't think the real world would delay the start. So it sounds harsh to say, but stuff happens in real racing. Stuff happens in sim racing.
Yeah. See, now if I'm MacFarlane, I'm going to start contemplating that first Joker. You're 2 seconds back from Sotens. Do you want to take it now, or do you want to catch Sotens too early and then have to let off? The world of decisions. Yeah, you're 1 second back. I'm going now if I'm Evan.
He's not.
He does not.
He positioned that car. Obviously, the body language said, I'm not jokering. I think he knows that he might have this next lap to take to the Joker. Will we see back-to-back Jokers for the one to put him battling with Kieran? We'll just have to wait and see there.
Like, if we look at strategy here, Liflander's only taken one. Everybody's only taken one except MacFarlane.
And MacFarlane's there on Sotens. And
yeah,
this is hindering him, just like you called. Now he's going to push his way around the corner to Joker. He takes his first Joker. He's going to come out behind Kieran, and I want to say that little blip behind Sotens might have affected him. Palacio to the lead. He took his second Joker.
Yeah, Kieran is 6/10 behind. I mean, that was enough from Sotens.
It's such a tricky gamble, but I would have agreed with you. Joker, when you know you're not going to catch him. Will we see a second Joker from Evan? No, he's going to run this out to Kieran. Like I said, they've got a Joker in their pocket. So Palacio just trying to run away while he can. Sotens Jokers, he will get ahead of Pakala in the 92. So put the 157 to third.
Right
Palacio
now,
takes 4 laps to go.
If I'm Kieran, I'm not jokering until the end. This is all on Evan. Evan has to Joker first because there's no reason for Evan or Liflander to Joker before him unless he catches Palacio in a weird spot. But yeah, save it to the end. Evan can't pass you on the last lap.
Kieran up by 4/10 the last time around on MacFarlane in the 1. The gap is a second. I agree with you. Unless Kieran has that strategy in the bank. He's got the delta. Why Joker early? Why waste it?
Why give Kieran the opportunity to catch you? That is, unless he catches Palacio and Palacio becomes a barrier for him.
3 to go. 37-0 for Palacio. 36-3 for Liflander. 36-6 for MacFarlane. MacFarlane falling in car number 1. Interesting to see with Evan in the 1. He Jokers. Was that a cut of the Joker in car number 1? No penalty, it looks like. And now Pakala Jokers as well. So if you're Liflander, I'm in the thought process that I would immediately respond. But I also see where you're coming from.
I think if you're Evan right now, you have to run. Well, yeah, Kieran can do it whenever he wants now. He just had to wait for Evan to pull the trigger. Evan's got to run the lap of his life right now. This is make or break. If Evan doesn't run fastest lap at the race right now, it is over. He is in P2.
Absolutely pushing. He caught Palacio. He's running wide. He's jokering now to respond. This is it. He's got it. There was absolutely no contest between Kieran Liflander and Evan MacFarlane. That was an entry that was the best entry I've seen into turns 1 and 2. Clip the curb to perfection. Liflander takes the white flag.
Yeah,
So
like
Kieran
I said,
Liflander
as soon as Evan got held up there, it became Liflander's race to lose. That's the thing to say.
Words are hard. So, final couple of corners. Kieran Liflander currently is tied with Magnus Ogenhaug with 5 wins and inaugural champion Brandon Lambert with 5 wins. That is 17th all-time on the wins list. He's going to round the final couple of corners and be tied with another pioneer of NASA Rallycross, Tanner Smith, with 6 wins, 16th all-time. Liflander takes the fight and takes the win in Atlanta over Evan MacFarlane, who's second. Third is Yuko Pakala, pipping Palacio at the line. Renee Sotens will come home in fifth. And Josh Darnell had connection issues on the start and also had connection issues midway through. He never took the check or the green flag. He will be classified in sixth. Liflander, MacFarlane, Pakala, the podium in Georgia. We'll let them burn it down here for the moment and just try and take a breath and see, decompress and take a moment and what could have been. But that's, I don't know if that issue with Sotens was the full cause, as just trying to work on getting everything taken care of. And I think we've got Kieran Liflander parking at the podium in the 20. And just trying to wait and see if we can get Pakala. So we'll pull Pakala and MacFarlane. So if you are ready for interviews, Bryan, I think we can commence that process and we'll have some conversations. As we're going to pull up Yuko Pakala. Yuko, it's Josh in the booth with Bryan. You got us? I'll try one more time. Otherwise, we'll move to Evan. Yuko Pakala. It's Josh Mertz in the booth. You got me?
Yeah. Did you?
So, a little bit of a quiet race. You started, I think it was third there in the 92. Just talk me through your race, my friend.
Pretty lonely race. Evan and Kieran was pretty too fast, so I just tried.
I guess just driving, you're saying, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like you had a pretty decent battle with Marcos a little bit in there, but you did have the 3 seconds at the end. So I guess just running some hot laps, running some 10 laps, getting some practice in the car. I'm trying to remember if there really was anything from the semifinal or the heat race, but I think those were just kind of hot lap sessions as well. So I guess, is there anyone you'd like to thank for your third place finish today?
Yeah, thanks to my team, No Control eSports, and totta kai äitille terveisiä. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Good podium, and we'll see you next week in Daytona.
Yeah, thanks.
We've got our second place man, Evan MacFarlane, in here now. The big question is, Bryan and I were discussing through that entire race. First of all, you guys had contact, you and Kieran, of course, here last season. It was kind of quiet. We saw the issue when you got held up by Renee. Was there another bit of maybe like a mistake or anything like that? Because it just didn't seem like you had the pace, my friend.
Well, no.
Yeah, right here on stream right now.
I think I was there with him the whole race until like the last half after Renee. I think that Joker and the just getting behind Renee kind of got to my head, so I was kind of driving over my head. But I couldn't calm down in time, so I think I just started burning laps and just being too aggressive on that throttle, and that was a rookie mistake by me. But I mean, yeah, Kieran was fast today. I think I would have had the pace on him in qualifying, but I didn't get a good lap down. And I knew starting like here, especially track position is everything. So I just wanted to stay in clear as much as I could and try to get some time on him. But I was barely gaining anything, so I just tried to joker when I could. And I mean, yeah, it didn't work out like the way I wanted it to. But I mean, Kieran was fast today, deserved that win, and yeah, it was a good race overall.
As I'm taking a look at points, and unofficially, you are up by 5 still over Kieran. So we take cross flags halfway home in the season. I ask you this every single week, but what's it going to take to hold this points lead, take the fight to Kieran?
I think now that it's literally just going to take qualifying. I think if I just put down the heater in qualifying and I start on pole and I just get a good start, I think that's how the race is going to end. It seems like that's how it's been for the season, and it seems like when it's hard to like just gain or lose time from each other. So I think just the seeding round is going to be the most important. And Kieran's gotten more consistent and he's less vulnerable under pressure. So I mean, I just gotta just get my raw pace up, I guess, and just execute every qualifying round and just try my best.
All right, my friend. Good run today, and we'll see you in Daytona.
Yeah, thank you. I got to give all glory to God. It's all because of him I'm able to succeed. And I'm thankful for KS Industries, Team Watson Racing Setups. If you want some of my setups, go to twrsetups.com. Also like to thank Martin Sports, True Speed, Fluid Logic. If you want some of my photos, go check out Evan MacFarlane photography. And I'd also like to thank my mom, my dad for always supporting me, my brothers, and also all my teammates. Robbie, he isn't racing this season, but he's been doing good, and I hope to see him back. And also Matthew, I'd like to thank Eric, Josh, Zach, Klaus, James for at Team Watson setups for just picking me up, and just all the guys back at the team who help support me and just help, and it's just a great environment to be around. So I'm extremely thankful to them, and also you guys for putting on this broadcast. It's a lot of fun racing out here, and I'm thankful for being able to race and have my name out there.
As I got completely distracted with updating my stat book, I glossed over that last question, which you just took it and ran it. Thank you, sir, for handling that one for me.
Yeah.
And like I said, good run today, and we'll see you in Daytona.
Yep, thank you.
And currently muted in Discord. Now he's unmuted in Discord. A repeat winner, second season in a row for Kieran Liflander, with his 6th career win, now tied with Tanner Smith for 16th all-time on the wins list. Talk me through your race, my friend. I just asked Evan what had happened with him. He got held up by Renee Sotens there in turns 1 and 2, and then after that, got in his own head a little bit. So talk me through your race.
Yeah, the mindset of knowing last season how obviously the issues with Evan kind of made the stream a bit boring to watch last season. This race, he got killed, but I know me and him are really even, so that I got in my head a little. I was debating on making certain adjustments to the car, but I was like, you know what, let me just run with what I got and stay focused rather than overthink it. So I did just that, and I had a little more in queue. I didn't put enough fuel for my 3rd lap, so I ran out of fuel. I was on for a 3, but I still got the pole, and I don't know if you guys think I'm cheating in the heat. I just perfectly timed that start. I don't think I could have timed it any better. And the feature just locked in, and I lifted a little bit early than I wanted to. It was not intentional. I felt Evan get in my rear, and I don't think he got any damage from that, but still, I wanted to apologize for that. But yeah, was just really consistent today, and was fast all night. So yeah, really happy with this win, and gonna hopefully be able to rebound and get a win next week in the Supers at Daytona.
As I just want to tell you, I'm glad that everything is, I assume, okay, and that everybody's safe with what happened last week. It's good to see you back. I asked Evan this question because now the gap is 5 points. We take halfway home in the championship. It's kind of, I know I ask this question every week, but what's the game plan to beat Evan? I asked the question to Evan, what's the game plan to beat Kieran? So talk me through that.
Yeah, with these enduro races coming up, I'm a little bit worried about Crandon. I'm either worried I'm not going to win, which it might not that might not be possible. I've been doing some research on Evan's times, and I think it was a few seasons ago or a season ago, he had like a 1:12-minute lap, and I'm at 1:13, so he's about a second faster than me there. So I'm a little bit worried there, but next week at Daytona, I think I'll be able to have him there, just do the same thing I did today, just be really consistent. That's one of my better tracks, and Navarra, it's a brand new free track, been out for a season, and I've been working my butt off all season in the preseason, during last season, to get a really fast car. So I think I'm about well, I'm not going to say how much faster I am than Evan, but I assume that I'm going to be a tick faster than him, or I hope I will. And just got to carry the momentum to there, and then try to get him at Barcelona and the rest of the races coming up.
As I'm equally as excited, actually, for the endurance races. It just adds that extra element of surprise in. And like we saw last season, not to maybe, foreshadow, but we saw you and Evan crash and Robbie win that race. So in Crandon. So who knows what'll happen. Is anyone you'd like to thank for another victory, my friend?
I'd like to thank everybody at KLR, my mom, my dad. They've been supporting me tons, and I've said this every week, but it's just been getting more and more support. My girlfriend, friends, and other family up in New York. They've been reaching out and see me race online, so that's cool. And yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of effort being put in, and obviously I missed 2 rounds. Round 5 in the lights and round 4 in the supers. So those are a bummer and really hurt me in the championship. But we kept our heads up, and yes, everybody is safe. Thank you for asking. And yeah, just take this momentum and carry it on to next week and try to get the championship by the end of the season.
All right, my friend. Good win today. Driver Josh, we'll see you tomorrow in Daytona, and commentator Josh, we'll see you next Saturday, also in Daytona. Good run.
Thank you.
And that was our podium, Mr. Bryan Sawyer. Let's take a look at the classification one more time before we finish up here. Kieran Liflander. I'm reading the heat race results. Promise I know how to read. Kieran Liflander wins ahead of Evan MacFarlane, his 6th career win in the championship. Yuko Pakala in the 3rd spot. Palacio Sotens and Josh Darnell had some connection issues. He was unable to take the start. Just a reminder on the cars that did not transfer. 7th is Jess Rakowski. 8th, Marcus Indrek Simmer. Chris Wetz in 9th. Klaus Kreutzer 10th. Devin Hughes 11th. Robbie Kirtley in 12th. And Zachary Goddard given 13th last place points. He transferred through the contenders race and was unable to participate. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship exiting Atlanta. And like I said, Evan MacFarlane up by 5 over Kieran Liflander, Yuko Pakala, Marcos Palacio battle for 3rd, getting spicy. And despite Josh Darnell missing technically the feature, he comes up a couple spots because he does get those 6th place points. So Zach Blanche, Heskinen, Rakowski, Soten's up 3, Kirtley stays in 10th. The Constructors' Championship, TWR Subi Squad leads that championship, and it is growing. 72 points ahead of No Control Finland. Kieran Liflander Racing sits in 3rd. Like I said, a couple of bad results. This time, Kieran's the only car racing for his team, so if he can get a 2nd car, that's going to help them. But TWR Subi Squad being the only consistent 2-car squad up at the top of the table. No Control USA, Slapex Ford, if you take a look down the order there. And Subaru leads the Manufacturers' Championship by 63 over Ford and Volkswagen, yet to make an appearance in the supercar class. A couple of programming notes before we say goodnight on the Automotive Sports Network. We're looking at NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights tomorrow at Daytona, 8 p.m. Eastern for Futures, 9 p.m. for Lights. You'll have Ethan Halsey, Victor Valley for those 2 shows. As Futures has been a brawl, you've got me and Bryan holding co-blue plates, championship leaders in Lights, and Kieran Liflander's back, so Bryan and I are going to kill each other for the 2nd place spot, I feel. So
might die tomorrow.
That's going to be a super fun time. As NASA Rallycross Contenders on Monday, we will have Justin Robichaud, Bryan Sawyer for that, 9 p.m. Eastern, also in Daytona. Round 2 for the Torque Sports Car Series in Monza in Italy, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be a great one as well. Victor Valley, myself, Josh Mertz for that. And our next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also in Daytona, 2 p.m. Eastern, next Saturday, the 12th of October. Bryan Sawyer, Josh Mertz for that one. As just a reminder, the NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed, produced by our very own Alex Abedi. If you like what you saw today, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. And if you'd like your content broadcasted by ASN, you can visit us at asnTVUSA.com. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2024. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. Bryan, Sawyer, final thought?
I want to go back to a few things Kieran said in his interview there. So he's talking about Crandon being afraid of it. I think that might be just a straight Evan race. Evan has a lot more experience in the jumpy trucks. He's been dabbling in both. He's got a lot more time on that track. He knows exactly how it feels. But something else interesting, yes, Kieran missed 1 week here, but this is a series where Kieran has only missed 1 week. I'm just looking at our stat book here for this season. They are basically even. Evan has 1 more win. Evan's been here for all 5 races. Kieran's been here 4. Evan has 5 podiums. Kieran has 4. Evan's got 3 wins. Kieran has 2. The only real difference is, I'm going to estimate maybe a Kieran win next week. The only big difference is Evan's got 1 more heat win than Kieran. And I'm curious to see if, like last season, it might come down to just something so simple as not winning a heat being the deciding factor this season again.
As I'm taking a look back, Kieran, and yeah, because Kieran got the penalty in Iowa and got sent to the semifinal, and those 2 points could potentially go down to the wire. And I say it, I know I say it every single week, and I go on my old man gray-haired tangents, but I've lost championships by single digits. I've won championships by single digits. Kieran lost the championship by 1 point, the closest margin in series history since 2012 C, I think it is, between me and Dylan Livengood. 1 point. That was it. So you have to maximize every single moment. And that's why Kieran, kind of piggybacking off of you, Kieran said, I'm not cheating. I don't want you to think I'm cheating from the start. The amount, I guess we need to put into words, that start is the result of thousands of laps of practice, thousands of practice starts, knowing your clutch bite point, knowing how the lights are going to go down, and that's just a perfect start. And that is how minute you have to get to maximize potential in these cars, to get the most out of them, whatever terms you want to use, to bring the championship down to 1 point. It's going to be awesome the next half of this season. And I'll be transparent. Before we say goodnight, I'll be transparent. In the lobby, we talk about, man, there's only 6 cars. It's super boring. No, it's not. You have to view it in a different light. You have to view that you're watching the best of the best excel at what they do, and then it's exceptional. It's just like Max Verstappen winning 22 races last season. Looks terrible on paper. You're watching excellence. That's what it is. As I think that's about it for what we have in Atlanta, as the checkered flag has fallen today. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Justin Robichaux, Cody Erdman, Ethan Halsey, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz. As I hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge from Atlanta. We congratulate our winner, Kieran Liflander, and be sure to join us next week in Daytona. But until then, so long, everyone.